Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Hussnain Ali, a chemistry teacher, Bagh School. This is a video related to paper 1 mock 2 examination. Here in this video we would be going through the MCQs number 36 to MCQs number 40. Here in the 36th MCQs, the examiner was saying modern cars are fitted with catalytic converters to reduce the atmospheric pollution caused by unwanted reactions during the combustion of the fuel. Which statements are correct? So we have to see the statements that are correct and opt for the options that are given in the table here. You can see the table. If all three are correct, A is to be opted. If 1 and 2 are correct, B is to be opted. If 2 and 3 are correct, C is to be opted. And if 1 is correct, then D is to be opted. So for this purpose, in a catalytic converter reaction, we would be seeing the statements that are correct. I have given the answer in highlighted form, that is B, that statement 1 and 2 are correct. If you would go through the statement 1, carbon monoxide is oxidized to carbon dioxide in a catalytic converter. Yes, this is the thing that happens in the catalytic converter, that carbon monoxide is converted to carbon dioxide in the presence of nitrogen oxides. The second statement, catalytic converter have a very large surface area. Yes, we have to provide a very large surface area to platinum and rhodium so as to catalyze the gases and convert the dangerous or pollutant gases into non-pollutant gases. The third statement was wrong. Here he was saying nitrogen dioxide is reduced to nitrogen monoxide in a catalytic converter. This is not so. Actually, nitrogen dioxide is converted into nitrogen in the catalytic converter. So our third statement is wrong. So our first two statements are right and our best suited answer is B. For the 37th MCQs, which statements are correct for an SN2 mechanism? So this is the substitution nucleophilic second order mechanism upon which the question is based upon. You can see I have written the answer, that is A, that all three statements are correct. Let's see why they are correct. The first statement was that one bond is being broken at the same time as another bond is being formed. You can go through your notes of SN2 mechanism and you can see that the two nucleophiles are attached with the carbon at the same time. One is attacking the carbocation and the second one is leaving. So this statement is right. The second was the formation of an intermediate involves the collision of two molecules or ions. This is also correct because in the slow step in the SN2 mechanism reaction, there are two species that are involved within the reaction. While the third statement was saying a carbon atom in the transition state is bonded either fully or partially to 5 atoms. This is also true because they in the slow step a transition state is formed in which the carbon atom has a valency of 5 or 5 atoms are attached to it. All three statements are right. So our best suited answer is A. In the 38th MCQs, the examiner was saying bromoethane is heated under reflux with concentrated aqueous sodium hydroxide. Which statements are correct? I have highlighted the answer. The answer was B. The first two statements are right. For the bromoethane hydrolysis, first statement was that the major product is primary alcohol. Yes, the bromine would be removed and OH group would be attached on the ethane. So we would be getting an ethanol molecule from bromoethane with the reaction with sodium hydroxide aqueous. This is the right statement. The first one is right. For the second statement, the major reaction is hydrolysis by an SN2 mechanism. Yes, bromoethane contains a carbon with having a halogen group. That carbon is basically a primary carbon. So the mechanism that it would be following for the nucleophilic substitution of bromine with OH negative ion, that would be basically a SN2 mechanism. Both OH negative and the bromoethane would be involved in the slow step. So our second statement is also right. The third statement was saying the major product would be the same if NaOH is dissolved in ethanol. This is not right because the major product would change, because in the presence of ethanolic NaOH from bromoethane, ethene would be formed. So our third statement is wrong. Our best suited statements are 1 and 2 that fits in. So our best answer is to be opted for is B. Here is a molecule or a compound M. In the 39th MCQs, the examiner was saying compound M is an important ingredient in perfumes. M reacts with HCN. Which statement about this reaction are correct? Here you can see in the M there is a ester linkage, there is a ketonic linkage. So HCN would be reacting with the ketonic linkage. We know that the ketones react with HCN. So we have to see which statements are correct. Our best suited option would be D. The reason behind that was D means that only first statement is correct. In the first statement he was saying a small amount of NaOH will speed up the reaction. Yes, this would happen because when NaOH would be reacting with HCN, water would be formed along with a cyanide ion in the form of NaCN dissolved would be formed, because we know when the HCN reacts with carbonyls, cyanide ion is used to react with the carbonyl carbon first. So we have to produce the cyanide ion first. So our first statement is correct. While for the second statement, the reaction is initiated by the transfer of a proton to one of the carbonyl groups. We know that when the reaction of HCN takes place with the carbonyl groups, basically first the cyanide ion moves towards the carbonyl group, not the H positive ion. The third statement was that both of the carbonyl reacts with HCN. No, this is not the case. Here the carbonyl is of the ester group. Ester group carbonyl would not be reacting with HCN, while only ketonic group carbon would be reacting with the HCN. So our third statement is also wrong. So our second and third statements are wrong, while our first statement is right. So our best suited answer is D. That is, one is only correct. For the 40th MCQs, here is the 40th MCQs. The examiner was saying carboxylic acids can be converted into their salts by a number of reactions at room temperature. Which reaction would produce sodium butanoate and a gas? So the best suited answer was B. I have highlighted the answer. We have to see that the product of the reaction should be sodium butanoate and a gas. For the first statement, sodium carbonate reacts with butanoic acid. Yes, in the presence of sodium carbonate, butanoic acid would be giving us sodium butanoate plus carbon dioxide plus water. For the second statement, if sodium is reacted with butanoic acid, basically sodium butanoate would be formed along with hydrogen. So our first two statements are right, because in our first statement sodium butanoate is formed along with carbon dioxide, that is a gas. In the second statement, sodium butanoate is formed along with hydrogen, that is a gas. Our third statement is wrong, because sodium hydroxide plus butanoic acid would be giving sodium butanoate but not any gas, but it would be forming water with the side product. So it means that our statement 1 and 2 are right. Our best suited option is B. Hopefully you are finding these videos useful. Take care. Allah Hafiz.